physics nerds! What is China's #1 document?
It's a policy document issued every January by the Central Committee of the Communist Party. It sets the country's policy priorities for the year.
没错, and its primary focus.
Number one has focused on rural matters every year since 2003, making China's agricultural economy top priority. This year, like many years before, food security took precedence.
Very good, very good. You, Xinhua, regurgitate a summary for me in a pithy line.
China needs to take control of its bowl. Xinhua was quoting the #1 document, which evokes memories of a simpler time. The time of the Great Iron Rice Bowl. A communist ideology saying that the state had the party members' backs with lifetime employment and thus a sturdy promise of food in their bowls. The greeting of the time? Have you had your rice today? So, for China to take good control of its bowl, the #1 priority is to ensure the state can provide adequate food supplies, focusing on grain sufficiency. Early state measures in the 1950s did this by ridding the country of sparrows, flying pests that were eating the grain. Mao instigated a campaign against the beasts with super fun propaganda and decimated the population. Naturally, the ecosystem responded with a huge bug problem in which the crops were overrun with locusts and pests of a different kind, a contributing cause to famine during the Great Leap Forward. Now, China food security campaigns are a bit more sophisticated. As you can see here, the #1 policy document focuses on agribusiness, encouraging modern biotech and empowering farmers to maximize output. But modern development in other sectors compete with the committee's land-loving, grain-hugging food security policies. China's prolific urbanization has caused toxic levels of cadmium, lead, mercury, nickel, and arsenic to contaminate the water and soil.
Teacher, does that mean that all of the vegetables that are gonna mutate and then come find us in our houses and then knock on our doors and then say, I'm gonna toss your salad?
No, but the Ministry of Environmental Protection and the Ministry of Land and Resources has reported almost 1/5 Chinese soil fallow. 3.3 million hectares, an area the size of Belgium, has become too contaminated to grow crops. Still, the survey maintained that China's arable land is above the self-proclaimed red line of 120 million hectares. But keep calm and control your bowls. Food security is all about independence or controlled interdependency in a global market. China's campaign to control its bowl stems from pricing and shortage fears, seeking to insulate its people from that crazy world out there.
I'm gonna toss your salad!
That's quite enough, dear. Now, let's look over this case study because you have homework.
American pork producer Smithfield Foods was bought by China's Shuanghui International Holdings Limited
for
$4.7
billion.
It's the largest takeover of a U.S. company by a Chinese firm ever. Diet changes for the Chinese, including an ever-growing demand for meat, has now led to outsourcing industrial pork production to the U.S. So this grain sufficiency thing has gone way beyond filling people's bowls with rice. This buyout has transferred a water-intensive, grain-depleting, environmentally taxing process halfway around the world. The question is, how does this round-the-world buyout impact China's food security? And any thoughts on what it says about food safety in China?
That's right, we'll be looking at food safety next, so study well. We'll be taking a field trip. That's rich. Who did this?